Welcome to the AC 24/7 Top Story Countdown. We'll guide you through the biggest news of the day. Our focus, advocating our rights, advocating health, and advocating Earth. Here's our pick for number 4.
As water levels for the Colorado River's major reservoirs remain at alarmingly low levels, exacerbated by more than 2 decades of drought and chronic overuse, the federal government releasing a dire assessment of the painful choices facing the American West.
We cannot kick the can on finding solutions, and the women and men responsible for managing the system for the benefit of 40 million Americans and countless ecosystems.
Snaking across the Southwest and into Mexico, the Colorado River is the lifeblood of the region. It waters booming cities while nourishing some of the nation's most fertile fields and generates hydroelectricity for the Southwest. But without massive changes to how the water is used and distributed, all that could soon be at risk.
We have a lot of hard work and difficult decisions ahead of us in this basin. But those paths have dire consequences in some cases and may spur opposition or even litigation.
The options presented by the Interior Department to cut 2 million acre-feet in water usage in 2024 are grim. One prioritizes the needs of thirsty farming regions in California, which along with native tribes have a higher water priority claim. But that could devastate major western cities like Las Vegas, which gets 90% of its water from the Colorado River, as well as Los Angeles and Phoenix. Option 2, spread the pain evenly among all the users, which could lead to lengthy court battles. A third option, doing nothing at all, might have the highest cost if the river continues to dwindle.
This no action alternative, we will see the most impacts to the system. We can expect water levels to continue to decline, threatening the operations of the system and the water supply of 40 million people.
While an unusually wet winter is providing some relief, it's not enough to solve the Colorado River crisis.
Everyone who lives and works in the basin knows that one good year will not save us from more than 2 decades of drought.
For some communities in Arizona, the dire future is a present reality. Part of Maricopa County, about an hour's drive from downtown Phoenix, the Rio Verde foothills community was a slice of paradise until it began to run dry. Too many homes, too little water.
I think everybody thinks the government or somebody's going to take care of it. And unfortunately, I think that's what most of the U.S. is thinking. And they need to wake up, and people need to start conserving water now, before it's too late.
We lost all of our water.
Drought has already pushed farmers like Will Thielander to the brink.
Do you fear that the future of farming in Arizona is under threat?
Yeah, no one can produce it like the Colorado River can for food. It just, nowhere on earth is it done like that. So yeah, I'm really worried. 50 years down the road, unless we come up with solutions, farming won't be here.
But time to come up with those solutions is running out.
TheAdvocateChannel.com looks at the world through the lens of equality and inclusion. Subscribe, like, and share now. AC 24/7's Top Story Countdown continues with our producer's pick for number 3.
A step forward in the ongoing battle over rising prices. A new Bureau of Labor Statistics report out Wednesday shows U.S. annual inflation is down to the lowest level since May 2021, but economists are cautiously optimistic.
There's a lot of things that are hitting consumers that are still showing a very elevated level of inflation.
It shows consumer prices rose in March by 5% year over year. That's down from 6% in February, and it marks the 9th straight month of slowing inflation. The rate of price increases has been cooling since it hit a 4-decade high last summer. Economists say the real challenge for consumers is that the rate is still a long way away from the Federal Reserve's target, which could signal more action from the Fed may be ahead.
That's why the debate around the Fed is about, well, how long time is it now going to take before we will get inflation all the way down to the 2% target?
And the main issue is that core inflation, which strips out food and energy costs. Those numbers remain high. They're up 5.6% year over year. That means higher rents, housing, and other costs.
If you look at cost of transportation, that went up. If you also look at airline ticket prices, also went up. If you look at the cost of housing, still very elevated.
The latest report is adding to the debate around what the Fed will do at their next meeting, either pause interest rate hikes or increase them to further cool down the overheated economy. For Consumer Watch, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Like the Advocate channel on Facebook for the best way to get updates on stories that advocate for equality, justice, our rights, and more. AC 24/7 continues with today's top 2 pick.
For weeks, there's been endless speculation here in the UK. Will they? Won't they? Well, now we know for sure. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, says he'll be attending his father's coronation on May the 6th, but he's going to be doing so alone. His wife, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, will remain in the US with Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. We don't know why Meghan isn't attending. We know she was invited, but she has the excuse that it's Archie's birthday. It actually falls on the same day as the coronation. Well, one thing is certain, without Meghan here, it will be less of a media circus at a moment of such significance for the royal family. But it does show the rift within the family and the unresolved issues as well as the tensions. And as for Harry, well, this will be the first time he will be seeing the royal family since his bombshell memoir, if you remember, Spare, and its spectacular fallout and the interviews that followed. In that memoir, if you remember, he talks about a desire to sit down with senior members of the royal family. We don't know whether that's going to happen. We also don't know yet what role Harry will play in the coronation, where he will sit. Will he appear at the balcony after the coronation? All this, of course, will tell us whether the differences are being put aside. For now, perhaps not being seen as a family reunion, but as a moment of reconciliation to see his father crowned as King Charles III.
Follow the Advocate channel on Twitter and Instagram to stay updated on stories that matter every day. Here's our #1 story of the day. Take a look.
911, Operator Frost, where's your emergency?
The 911 calls came in one after another.
911.
Panicked callers.
Get here now. We need somebody what colors? Now. Okay.
Saying they'd witnessed a mass shooting at Old National Bank. One caller watched it unfold on a video call. Another called hiding in a closet.
Has anybody been shot? Yes.
Louisville police say within 3 minutes of the first calls, officers arrived. About the time they did, gunman Connor Sturgeon's mother called 911.
I don't know what to do. I need your help. I think he's never hurt anyone. He's a really good kid. Please don't punish him.
You don't believe he owns guns?
I know he doesn't own any guns.
Police say Sturgeon had legally purchased a gun days earlier. His family says in a statement he had mental health challenges they were actively addressing, and there were never warning signs. One of the 5 victims killed in the shooting was a friend of Kentucky's governor.
This person murdered my friend. But still, I can't imagine how his parents must be feeling right now.
Roughly 9 minutes passed from the first shots fired to police confirming the gunman was down. Police have released 12 calls from that time.
We see a cop down.
Eyewitnesses trying to find the words for what they had just seen. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
I'm Sonia Baghdadi. Join me weekdays on Advocate Now, a show dedicated to celebrating diversity with in-depth discussions on equality, women's issues, wellness, and important topics that advocate for all. Thanks for watching the Advocate channel's top stories. We're on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Follow, like, and share, or check out advocatechannel.com for even more stories that advocate for you.